The USS Defiant moved through space like a silent hunter. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge, watching the stars through the large window. 3 months had passed since the first alien ships appeared near Earth. 3 months since everything changed. The war started by accident. Humans sent peaceful messages to the aliens called Zephyrians. The aliens responded with weapons. Both sides were fighting across the galaxy, and nobody knew why the aliens attacked first. "Captain, we have something on sensors," said Danny Lee from his station. The young man turned his chair around, his face serious. "There's a damaged ship about 2 hours away. Small. Looks like a scout." Jake walked to Danny's station and looked at the screen. The alien ship was spinning. Slowly, with parts of it torn off. Dark metal pieces floated around it like broken toys. "Any signs of life?" Jake asked. Danny pressed some buttons and watched the numbers change. "Maybe there's a weak power reading from the center of the ship. Could be life support," Jake thought. For a moment, it'd been hunting alien ships for weeks, but this was the first time they found one that wasn't shooting at them. It could be a trap, but it might also be a chance to learn something about their enemy. "Get Sergeant Kane and her team ready," Jake said. "We're going aboard." Lisa Kane was already putting on her spacesuit when Jake called her. She was a tough woman who had fought in Earth's wars before the aliens came. Her team trusted her because she always brought them home alive. "How many aliens might be on that ship?" she asked Jake over the radio. "We don't know. Our computers say these scout ships usually carry 1 or 2 crew members. But be careful. You don't know what they can do." Lisa checked her weapon and looked. At her team, there were 4 Marines with her. 2 men and 2 women. All young and scared but trying not to show it. They had all heard stories about what aliens could do to humans. "Remember what we learned in training," Lisa told them. "These aliens are strong and fast. Don't try to fight them hand to hand. Use your weapons and stay together." The small shuttle carried them to the alien ship. Through the window, Lisa could see the damage was worse than it looked on the scanner. Something had hit this ship very hard. Big holes were torn in the metal, and strange green liquid floated in space around it.
"Looks cool."
"Like someone already fought this ship," said one of her Marines, a young man named Pete Wilson. "Maybe it fought other aliens," said another Marine, Maria Santos. "We know they have different groups that don't like each other." They connected their shuttle to the alien ship and cut through the metal door. Inside, the air was thin, but breathable. Emergency lights cast red shadows on the walls. Everything was too tall for humans. The aliens were bigger than people. Lisa led her team through narrow hallways. Their boots made loud sounds on the metal floor. Strange symbols covered the walls, and the air smelled like burning metal and something sweet they couldn't identify.
"Out there,"
whispered Pete, pointing down the hall. At the end of the hallway, something moved. It was big and covered in what looked like armor, but parts of the armor were broken. Green blood covered the floor around it. Lisa held up her hand and her team stopped. She could see the alien was breathing, but it didn't seem to notice them. It was making low sounds, like it was talking to itself. "It's hurt," Maria said quietly. "Still be dangerous," Pete replied. Lisa moved closer, keeping her weapon ready. The alien was sitting against the wall, holding one arm with the other. Its face was hidden behind a helmet, but she could see yellow eyes looking at her through the clear front. When the alien saw her, it tried to stand up but fell back down. It said something in its own language, words that sounded like music mixed with growling. "We need Dr. Cooper," Lisa said into her radio. "This one is alive but hurt badly." 20 minutes later, Dr. Ryan Cooper floated through the hallway carrying his medical bag. He was a thin man with gray hair who had been a doctor for 30 years. He had never treated an alien before, but he had studied what little they knew about alien bodies. "How bad is it?" he asked Lisa. "Hard to tell. It's been sitting here for hours, maybe days. Doesn't seem to want to fight." Ryan moved slowly toward the alien. He held his hands where the alien could see them, with no weapons. The alien watched him but didn't move. "I'm going to help you," Ryan said. Even though he didn't know if the alien understood, the alien tilted its head like it was trying to understand. Then it pointed to a small device on its chest. The device had been damaged, with wires hanging out of it. Ryan looked closer and realized it might be a translator. He had heard that some aliens used machines to speak human languages. Very carefully. He touched the broken wires and tried to connect them. The device made a crackling sound, then started working. "Pain," the alien said in a strange voice that sounded like it came from a machine. "Much pain." Ryan smiled a little. "I can help with the pain. What's your name?" The alien was quiet for a long time. "Vexthal," it finally said. "I'm Ryan. I'm a doctor. I help people who are hurt." Dr. Vextal repeated the word slowly. "Help." Ryan started examining the alien's injuries. Its left arm was broken, and there was a deep cut on its side. But what worried him most was that the alien seemed scared, not angry. "Who did this to you?" Ryan asked while he worked. Vextal looked at him with those yellow eyes. "My own people. They said I asked too many questions." Lisa and her team looked at each other. An alien hurt by its own people. This was new. "What kind of questions?" Lisa asked. Vextal turned its head toward her, even hurt and tired. It was bigger than any of the humans. But there was something in its eyes that looked almost human. "Questions about humans," Vextal said quietly. "Questions about why we really fight this war." Ryan finished wrapping the alien's arm and gave it something for pain. "Why do you fight us?" Vextal closed its eyes for a moment. When it opened them again, it looked directly at Ryan. "You fight like the Devourers," it said. "We thought they were gone forever." The humans looked at each other, confused. None of them had ever heard of Devourers. "What are Devourers?" Lisa asked. But Vextal had closed its eyes again and wouldn't answer any more questions. Dr. Ryan Cooper worked in the medical bay, checking on Vextal every few hours. The alien soldier was getting better, but it stayed quiet most of the time. Sometimes Ryan caught it staring at the walls, like it was seeing things that weren't. Their captain, Jake Morrison, called a meeting with his senior officers. They sat around a table in the conference room, all looking tired. The war was wearing on everyone. "What do we know about this Devourer thing?" Jake asked. Amy Foster, the security chief, shook her head. "Nothing in our computers. We checked every database we have. No mention of anything called Devourers." "Maybe it's just what they call us," said Ben Hayes, the intelligence officer. "Some aliens give humans different names." Tony Richards, the ship's chaplain, looked worried. The way it said that word, there was fear in its voice. Real fear. Kate Sullivan, the chief engineer, leaned forward. "I say we make a talk. We need information about their technology, their weapons, their plans. It's a wounded prisoner," Tony said firmly. "We should treat it with respect. It's the enemy," Kate shot back. "How many of our people have died because we don't know enough about them?" Jake held up his hand. "We'll do this the right way. Dr. Cooper says it's getting stronger. When it's ready, we'll ask our questions." 2 days later, Ryan was changing Vextal's bandages when the alien suddenly grabbed his arm. Not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough to get his attention. Dr. Ryan Vextal said, "I must tell you something important." "What is it?" "Your people are in great danger, more than you know." Ryan called for Captain Morrison. Within minutes, Jake arrived with Amy Foster and Ben Hayes. They all looked at the large alien lying on the medical bed. "You wanted to talk to us?" Jake asked. Vextal tried to sit up, but Ryan pushed it back down gently. "Rest," Ryan said. "You can talk lying down, Captain Morrison," Vextal said slowly. "Your name is known among my people. They say you are dangerous, like all human commanders." "We're fighting a war," Jake said. "Of course we're dangerous." "No." Vextal shook its head. "You do not understand. It is not that you fight. It is how you fight." Ben Hayes took out a recording device. "Can you explain what you mean?" Vextal was quiet for a long moment. Then it pointed to a screen on the wall that was showing news from Earth. The news showed human soldiers in battle using captured alien weapons against other aliens. "There," Vextal said, pointing at the screen. "You see that? Your soldiers? Using our weapons? We adapt," Amy said. "We learn from our enemies. That's how we stay alive." "Yes," Vextal said, and there was something like fear in its voice. "You adapt. You learn. You take what works and make it better, Just like them. Like who? Jake asked. Vextel closed its eyes. The Devourers. They have been gone for 10,000 years, but we remember. My people remember. The humans looked at each other. 10,000 years was ancient history. Tell us about them, Ben said gently. Vextel began to speak, and its words painted a picture that made everyone in the room uncomfortable. Long ago, before any of our civilizations grew strong, the Devourers came from the dark between stars. They were like you. Not exactly the same, but close enough. 2 arms, 2 legs, clever minds. What did they do? Ryan asked. They consumed worlds. Not just conquered them, consumed them. They would attack a planet, study how the people there fought, then use those same methods against the next world. Each victory made them stronger. Vexel pointed again at the screen, where human soldiers were now using alien vehicles they had captured. They did that. They took our weapons, our ships, our tactics. They learned from every enemy they faced. After a while, they knew how to fight like 100 different species all at once. Jake felt cold. What happened to them? It took 400 species working together to stop them. The war lasted 3,000 years. The entire star systems were destroyed. Billions died. Amy leaned forward. How do you know all this? Because we keep records. Every species that survived keeps records. We swore never to forget, never to let it happen again. Ben Hayes was taking notes quickly. Did they finally defeat the Devourers? They didn't defeat them, Vexel said quietly. They contained them, trapped them on their homeworld, and made sure they could never leave. What does this have to do with humans? Jake asked, though he was starting to guess the answer. Vexel looked directly at him. When our scouts first saw your people fight, they sent reports back to our leaders. The report said humans fight exactly like the old stories described Devourers fighting. That's impossible, Kate said. Humans evolved on Earth. We've never been in space until recently. Have you? Vexel asked. How do you know? The room went quiet. It was Ben who finally spoke. You think humans are related to these Devourers? I think humans are Devourers, Vexel said simply. Or their children. Somehow some of them escaped the containment and ended up on your world. Dr. Cooper shook his head. That's not possible. Human DNA, our evolution, everything points to us developing on Earth naturally. DNA can be changed, Vexel said. The Devourers were very clever with life sciences. They could change themselves to fit any world they wanted to take. Stood up and walked to the window. Outside, he could see Earth in the distance, blue and beautiful and peaceful. Even if this were true, he said, humans today aren't these Devourers. We're not conquering the galaxy. We were living peacefully, on our own planet until you attacked us. Were you peaceful? Vexel asked. Or were you just waiting? Amy's hand moved to her weapon. What's that supposed to mean? Your species fights itself constantly. Wars everywhere all the time. You test new weapons on each other. You study how to kill more efficiently. And when we came, you adapted to space combat faster than any species in recorded history. Tony Richards looked pale. You're saying your people attacked us because they thought we were these ancient enemies? My leaders believe that if humans are allowed to spread to other worlds, they will become Devourers again. They will consume everything in their path. Just like before, Jake turned back from the window. So this war isn't about territory or resources. It's about wiping us out before we can become a threat. Yes, Vexel said sadly. My people are trying to kill all humans because they are. Afraid of what you might become? Ben Hayes looked up from his notes. Why are you telling us this? Why help us? Vexel was quiet for a long time. Finally, it spoke very softly. Because I have been watching humans for months. I have seen how you care for your wounded, how you mourn your dead, how you try to protect the weak. The alien looked at Dr. Cooper. Devourers did not do these things. Maybe humans are different. Maybe you can choose to be different. Suddenly, alarms started ringing throughout the ship. Danny, Lee's voice came over the speakers. Captain to the bridge immediately. We have multiple contacts approaching fast. It looks like a full Zephyrian battle fleet. Jake ran for the door, but Vextel called after him. Captain Morrison, the alien said urgently. They are not coming to capture you. They are coming to make sure no human survives to tell others what you have learned. Captain Jake Morrison ran to the bridge as alarms echoed through the ship. The crew was already at their stations, faces tense as they watched their screens. Report, Jake ordered as he took his captain's chair. Danny Lee turned from his communications. Station 12 Zephyrian ships approaching fast. I'll be here in 30 minutes. They're not responding to any messages. What types of ships? Asked Amy Foster, who had followed Jake to the bridge. 3 heavy cruisers, 6 destroyers, and 3 ships we've never seen before. The new ones are huge, Captain. Bigger than anything in our database. Sam Turner, the navigator, looked up from his charts. Sir, they came from the direction of the Zephyrian home system. This isn't a patrol or a hunting group. This is a planned attack. Jake thought about what Vextel had told them. The alien said they weren't coming to capture humans. They were coming to kill everyone who knew the truth about the Devourers. Jake called to his intelligence officer. Get back down to medical. I want to know everything Vexel can tell us about those ships and what they're planning. Ben Hayes nodded and headed for the door, but Jake stopped him. And Ben, record everything. If we don't make it out of this, someone needs to know what we learned. Down in the medical bay, Ben found Dr. Cooper checking Vextel's injuries one more time. The alien was trying to sit up, clearly agitated by the alarm sounds. The fleet. Vexel said when Ben entered, They found us faster than I expected. Tell me about those ships, Ben said, setting up his recording device. What are we facing? Vextel closed its eyes for a moment, like it was remembering something painful. The 3 large ships are cleansing vessels. We built them specifically to fight Devourers. What makes them special? Dr. Cooper asked. They carry weapons designed to destroy everything. No capture, no prisoners. They burn entire areas of space clean. Ben felt his stomach drop. We fight them? You don't, Vextel said simply. They were built after studying 10,000 years of Devourer tactics. Every trick, every strategy your people might use, those ships were designed to counter it. On the bridge, Kate Sullivan was working frantically at her engineering station. Captain, I'm reading massive energy signatures from those big ships. Whatever they're carrying, it's using more power than our entire ship. Weapons? Jake asked. Has to be. The energy patterns don't match anything we've seen before. Amy Foster was coordinating with the weapons crew. Our missiles are ready, and the energy cannons are charging. But Captain, against 12 ships, we're not going to last long. Jake knew she was right. The USS Defiant was a good ship with a good crew, but they were outnumbered 4-1. And according to Vextel, these weren't ordinary Zephyrian ships. Any word from Earth Command? Nothing, sir. We're too far out. Any message we send would take hours to reach them, and their response would take hours to get back. So we're on our own, Jake said quietly, in the medical bay. Vextel was telling Ben about something that made the humans' blood run cold. Worst part is not the weapons, the alien said. It's what they do when they find humans who have learned too much. What do you mean? Ben asked. They don't just kill the ship they find. They track back where that ship has been. Every space station, every planet, every other ship it contacted. They cleanse all of it. Double quotes, Dr. Cooper looked horrified.
You mean they'll attack Earth?
If any word of the Devourer connection reaches your home world, yes. They will sterilize your entire planet to make sure the knowledge dies. Ben grabbed his.
Radio Captain, you need to hear this. A few minutes later, Jake and Amy were in the medical bay, listening to Vextel explain the full scope of what they were facing. They're not just here to kill us, Jake said, making sure he understood. They're here to make sure this information never reaches Earth. Yes, Vextel confirmed. Your planet has maybe days before they arrive there too. Amy paced back and, Fourth, we have to warn them. We have to get word back to Earth. How? Jake asked. Even if we could get a message through, who would believe it? If the Zephyrians detect the transmission, they'll just attack Earth faster. Vextel struggled. To sit up straighter, there might be a way. But you will not like it, tell us, Jake said. In my ship, There is a communication device that can reach the Zephyrian High Command directly. If I contact them and tell them the humans on this ship are dead, they might delay the attack on your home world. But we're not dead, Dr. Cooper pointed out. You would have to be Vexthal said quietly. At least they would have to believe you were dead. Ben understood first. You want us to fake our deaths? It's more than that. You would have to disappear completely. Change your ship's identity. Stay away from all human territories. If they ever discover you are alive, they will know I lied, and the cleansing will begin immediately.
Ow.
Jake felt the weight of the decision. So our choices are fight and die, or disappear and let our own people think we're dead. There is a third choice, Vexthal said. What? I could tell them the truth. Everyone stared at the alien. Amy was the first to speak. What truth? That humans are not devourers. That you are different. That you chose to heal an enemy instead of killing it. To show mercy instead of consuming everything in your path. Jake shook his head. They believe you? Some might. There are others like me who think the old ways are wrong. But it would mean civil war among my people. On the bridge, Sam Turner's voice came over the intercom. Captain, the fleet will be in weapons range in 10 minutes. Jake looked at Vexthal. If we're going to do this, we need to decide now. There is something else you should know, Vexthal said. Something I discovered by watching your people fight.
What?
Humans do have some devourer traits. You adapt. Faster than any species should be able to. You learn from your enemies and use their own tactics against them. You are incredibly hard to kill. Amy's hand went to her weapon again. So you do think we're devourers? No, Vexthal said firmly. I think you have devourer abilities, but not their nature. The old devourers never helped their enemies. They never showed mercy. They never sacrificed themselves for others. Alien looked around at all of them. Dr. Cooper could have let me die, but he saved me. Captain Morrison could have tortured me for information, but he treated me with respect. You have the power to be devourers, but you choose not to be. Alarms started ringing again. Sam's voice came over the speaker. Urgent now. Captain there. Powering weapons. Whatever we're going to do, we need to do it now. Jake stood up. Vexthal, if you contact your people, what exactly will you tell them? That depends, the alien said. What do you want me to tell them? Jake looked at his crew. Dr. Cooper, who had risked his life to save an enemy. Amy Foster, who was ready to fight against impossible odds to protect Earth. Ben Hayes, who had treated a prisoner with dignity and respect. Tell them the truth, Jake said finally. Tell them humans aren't devourers. We're something new. If they don't believe me, Jake smiled grimly, then we'll show them what humans can really do when we fight for something we believe in. On the bridge, the Zephyrian fleet was almost in range. But in the medical bay, Vexthal was reaching for its communication device, preparing to send a message that might change the fate of 2 species. This is Vexthal of the 3rd Reconnaissance Unit, the alien began. I have urgent information. About the human threat, they are not what we thought they were. Vexthal spoke into its communication device while the humans listened carefully. The alien's voice was steady, but Jake could see its hands shaking slightly. Fleet Commander Zektar, this is Vexthal. I am aboard the human vessel. I've studied them closely for several days. A harsh voice answered in the Zephyrian language. Vexthal's translator made the words understandable to the humans. Vexthal, you were reported missing. Are you captured? No, Commander. I am here by choice. I must tell you something important. About these humans. There was a long pause. Then the voice came back, angry now. You are a traitor. We will destroy that ship, and you with it. Wait, Vexthal said quickly. Commander, these humans are not devourers. Impossible. We have seen their battle records, and they fight exactly like the ancient enemy. Vexthal looked at Captain Morrison, then back at the communication device. Yes, they fight like devourers. But they also do things devourers never did. They healed my wounds when they could have let me die. They treated me with kindness when they could have tortured me for information. On the bridge, Danny Lee was monitoring the conversation. Captain, he called over the intercom. The alien fleet has stopped moving. They're just sitting there, in the medical bay. The conversation continued. A new voice came through the device. older and more tired sounding. "This is High Admiral Mordick. Vextel, explain yourself clearly." Vextel took a deep breath. "Hi, Admiral. I request permission to share my memories with the fleet." Dr. Cooper looked confused. "Share memories? Zephyrians can transfer thoughts and experiences through our technology," Vextel explained quietly to the humans. "But it means everyone will see everything I have experienced." "Everything?" "How you saved my life. How you treated me. How you chose mercy over revenge." Jake realized what Vexel was offering to do. "It's dangerous for you, isn't it? If they see you chose to help us." "Yes. They might declare me a traitor and execute me. But it's the only way to show them the truth." The High Admiral's voice came through the device again. "Very well, Vextel. Transfer your memories. But know that if this is a trick, your death will be slow." Vextel connected another device to its head. Lights began flashing on both machines. "It is done," Vexel said. "They are seeing everything now." For several minutes, the communication device was silent. The humans waited, knowing that their fate was being decided by aliens watching Vextel's memories of the past few days. Finally, voices began coming through the device. Many Zephyrians were talking at once, arguing in their own language. The translator had trouble keeping up. Double quotes. "Impossible. These memories must be false. No. I can feel the truth in them. Devourers would never show such mercy. But they still fight like the ancient enemy. Fighting ability means nothing without the will to consume." High Admiral Mordick's voice cut through the arguing. "Silence. Vextel, bring 3 humans to the flagship. We will examine them ourselves." Jake stood up. "I'll go." "No," said Dr. Cooper. "If anyone goes, it should be me. I'm the one who saved Vextel's life." "I'm going to," said Amy Foster. "Someone needs to protect the doctor, and I should go as well," added Ben Hayes. "I've been recording everything. You need to hear the full story." On the bridge, Kate Sullivan was reading energy. Signatures from the alien fleet. "Captain, their weapons are powering down. They're not planning to attack right now." "That's something," Jake said. "Danny, tell the fleet we're sending a shuttle with 3 volunteers and Vextel." An hour later, Dr. Cooper, Amy Foster, and Ben Hayes stood in the shuttle bay with Vextel. The alien was walking now, though it still moved carefully because of its injuries. "Are you sure about this?" Dr. Cooper asked. "Once we're on their ship, we're completely at their mercy." "Yes," Vexel said, "but this is the only way. My people need to see that humans can choose to be different." The shuttle flight to the Zephyrian flagship took 20 minutes. Through the windows, the humans could see the massive alien ships surrounding them. The ships were dark and angular, covered in weapons that could destroy planets. The flagship was the largest thing any of them had ever seen. It was like flying into a metal mountain that someone had carved into the shape of a weapon. They landed in a huge bay filled with aliens. Hundreds of Zephyrians watched as the humans walked out of their shuttle. The aliens were all tall and strong-looking, wearing armor that gleamed under the bright lights. High Admiral Mordick was waiting for them. He was older than the other aliens, with scars across his face and arms. When he spoke, his voice was deep and tired. "I have seen Vextel's memories," he said through a translator device. "But memories can be changed. I want to test you myself." "What kind of test?" Amy asked, her hand near her weapon. "We will show you images of battle. We will measure how your minds respond." Devourers had a specific reaction to violence and conquest. If you are truly different, your minds will react differently. Dr. Cooper nodded. "We understand." They were led to a large room filled with strange machines. The humans were asked to sit in chairs while alien doctors attached devices to their heads. "This will not hurt," Mordick said. "It will simply observe your thoughts." Images began appearing on screens around the room. Battles, conquered worlds, scenes of destruction and victory. The humans watched, knowing that their reactions were being studied by hundreds of alien minds. Some images were hard to look at. Cities burning, people running in fear, soldiers celebrating over defeated enemies. Dr. Cooper felt sick watching them. Amy felt angry at the waste and destruction. Ben felt sad for all the lives lost. When the test was over, the room was quiet. For a long time, finally, Mordick spoke. Your minds react to violence with sadness and regret. Eivors felt only excitement and hunger for more conquest. So you believe us? Dr. Cooper asked. I believe you are not devourers, but you still have their abilities. You still adapt and learn faster than any species should. That makes you dangerous in a different way. Vexel stepped forward. High Admiral, what if that's exactly what the galaxy needs? Explain. For 10,000 years, we have been so afraid of devourers returning that we have stopped growing, stopped exploring, stopped trying new things. Maybe humans with devourer abilities, but peaceful hearts could help us become strong again. Mordick looked at the humans for a long time. And if you become like your ancestors, if the devourer nature grows stronger over time. Jake Morrison's voice came through their communication devices. He was speaking from the USS Defiant. Then you'll be watching, Jake said. And if humans ever become a threat to innocent people, you'll have the right to stop us. But give us the chance to prove we can be better than our ancestors. The High Admiral walked to a large window that looked out at the stars. Hey, Vextel, you believe these humans can change the galaxy? I believe they already have, Vextel said. They changed me. Mordick turned back to the humans. Very well. We will try a different path. But there will be conditions. What conditions? Amy asked. Human expansion into space will be limited and watched. Any signs of devourer behavior will result in immediate action. And Vextel will stay with your people as an observer and teacher. Dr. Cooper looked at Vextel. What do you want to do? That, yes, the alien said. I think both our species have much to learn from each other. 6 months later, Dr. Cooper was working in a new medical facility on a space station near Earth. Human and Zephyrian doctors worked together, sharing knowledge and treating patients from both species. Vextel had become something like an ambassador, helping humans understand alien technology while teaching other Zephyrians that humans could be trusted. The war was over. But the real work was just beginning. Humans were learning to explore space responsibly, always watched by their former enemies who had become cautious allies. And in the medical bay, Dr. Cooper smiled as he watched Vextel teaching a young human doctor how to treat alien injuries. It was a small thing, but it proved that even the most feared species in galactic history could choose to heal instead of destroy. The future was uncertain. But for the first time in 10,000 years, it was also full of hope.